Alright guys, we're gonna go into the practice range. We're gonna go into the practice range here. And I'm gonna show you guys how I play Penny Parker. Here are my lords. Exclude White Fox. I lord 4 main tanks, but I do dabble with Magneto and Strange these days because Magneto and Strange are really good solo tanks. And if you know when you're tanking, when you're tanking, you need a shield sometimes. You can't always go forth by yourself without a shield. One day I will be picking up Deadpool. I'm not sure when. One of these days. But out of the duelists, I play Psylocke, Squirrel Girl. I play Storm as well, and I play Hela. I play Namor when I need to protect the backline, and Bucky as well. I play Hela for hit scan. And then for my strategists, I kind of play them all except Adam and Ultron and Deadpool. They just are not for me. A lot of gamers in this game are scared to tank, and I get it. It's scary. But I want you to look at the health bar below. I have 750 health, right? Look at how much Hela has. 250. She can die with 1 hit. 1 or 2 hits. A tank doesn't die in 1 or 2 hits. We're still standing. So if you're scared to tank, don't be scared. Don't be scared. You will have enough health to get you by. Unless you're getting melted. That's a different story. So here are like the 101s of Penny. If you're in Penny's mines, it gives her extra health. You see how my health went up to 900? That's crazy, right? I'm at 900 health now. Literally crazy, right? All my allies that are in my mines can heal. So say my Luna Snow died and I only have Invisible Woman, right? If my Invisible Woman goes into my mines, she can heal herself. I can heal her. And that would mean that I would have healing. I would heal my team. So it's really good to know where you're going to place your mines. If you're a solo tank Penny, I'm going to put my mines probably in the back. Why? Nobody else is going to peel. If my DPS aren't peeling, unfortunately, I have to protect the backline. Unfortunately, I have to push and peel, which sucks. But if I have really good DPS protecting the backline, I need to push as a solo Penny. I need to make space. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to be aggressive with my mines, right? I'm going to be really aggressive with it. So a trick that I do is when my mines are aggressive and everyone's shooting at it, right before the health bar of my mines are low, I grab it back and I get my cooldown back. Why do I do that? If I don't grab my mines back, it's going to be a 12-second cooldown. That's 12 seconds of my whole team not having mines. Always recall it back before someone kills it. Always. That's my little trick. I always call it back. I'm always calling it back and always putting it down. But know that every time you pick it back up, you're picking up all the mines on the floor, right? You're picking up all the mines. So you need to be conscious of where you place it, because the longer you place them, the more mines stack up. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna put this over here, and my right click is my webs. My webs do not have to connect at all. Misconception. Penny mines have to connect. No, they do not. If someone stands over here, where's Modo? If someone stands over here, we're gonna put friendly fire on. If he stands over there, the mines are gonna connect even without touching, and it's gonna kill him. It's still gonna kill him. Oopsies, they're going over there. Well, they're waiting to be killed. So the mines do not have to connect. Misconception, misconception. Oops, they're going to the one over there. Here, we'll do this.
I'm counting on you, friends.
So your mines do travel. Do you see how they traveled and they're not even touching? Yeah, they're little spiders. So, misconception. Her mines, her webs do not have to touch at all. Are you giving a tutorial? I'm giving my little tips and tricks, not a tutorial per se. But isn't that cool? You see how every single mine is getting him? Also, pro tip as Penny. When you place your mines and your whole team, there's silence going on, stand on your mines. When you are still on your mines, they spew out faster. Do you see how many spewed out now that I'm on it? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like 12 spewed out within that 3-second frame, right? So if you stand here, they will stack and stack and stack and stack. Okay, Moldo, you keep dying. I feel bad. So if you stand on your mines, they're going to be stacking, right? Another tip that I do, if I know my mines are going to be going down by someone poking in the back line, I tell my supports, stand here, and I spam my E button. I spam my E button. I say, supports, stand on this little web right here. You're going to be fine. And so if they stand here and they're healing here and they're like behind a wall, etc. If a Black Panther comes in here or Spider-Man or a Magic, they will explode and die. Right? So it's all about being tactical with the way that you play. You have to think about situations of where you're going to place your mines, how you're going to place your mines, whether you're going to be a defensive Penny or an offensive Penny. In general, as a tank, I am aggressive. So I play Penny pretty differently. I'm aggressive Penny. I'm a very, very aggressive Penny. And I think that's where she shines the best. She is an amazing anti-diver. Amazing anti-diver. But people don't remember to put a mine in the back line. I think people forget about their supports. But I kind of want you to remember that she also heals her teammates, right? So, if you put it in the perfect spot for your DPS and for your supports, they are going to be constantly being healed by your mines. That's an amazing, amazing feature as a tank. You can keep your team alive without any supports if your DPS and you are all on the point together on your mines. So where you place your mines are very, very important, I would say. Yes, Penny is a really good second tank. Yes, it's hard for her to be a solo tank, but you can make it work if you're aggressive. I play her like a brawl. And if you could see her ammo on the bottom left, it's infinite, right? So I can shoot forever and I don't have to reload. That is atrocious. That's disgusting. Okay, if you really think about it. I don't have to reload. Ever. Never, never, never. Why is that good? It's like a brawl tank. Brawl tanks don't have to reload either, right? Thor doesn't reload, right? Thing doesn't reload. Rogue doesn't reload. Penny doesn't reload. I play her like a brawl. I am so in their face. I CC them and I shoot them. So this is how I would usually do it. Okay, so what I like to do as Penny is I like to get up in their face very, very aggressively because they don't expect a Penny to go up to their face. So I usually capture them and shoot infinitely. And I move around. Does it make sense? Why? Why do I play her like that? Because people don't expect a Penny to be as aggressive. They kind of expect her to hide behind her mines, play like a spider, which is a good thing. But I think if you utilize her being kind of brawl-like, I think that's where she could really, really be aggressive. Another thing, let me see here that I could, like I said, I do play her like a brawl, but I want people to remember that she's also a spider. So I think people tend to just walk with Penny. Do you see how slow she is? That's not fast. You need to utilize her kit to get to point faster. So let's pretend that point is all the way over there, and I need to get there before the 30-second mark. Put your mines down. You see how fast I am in my mines? Do you see how fast I am? How am I gonna get over there within a 30-second frame? Put your mines down. You jump, you F. Put your mines down again. And then you F again. You swing. Sorry, that swing was really bad. But that's how you get to point faster. So if you're wondering why pennies get to point so fast, they're swinging from the buildings, right? So you're going to be swinging like this to point like that. And make sure you always have your mines to walk on. So you're going to be putting mine, swing, mine, swing. So I think a lot of people forget that she is a spider and they forget to swing from building to building. So her swing is only like what? What's the cooldown for it? Let's see. Let's see here.
Whoever they are, they don't look friendly.
Oops, I didn't apply it. Give me 1 second. Oh, 3-second cooldown. So that's a really good cooldown, right? That's only 3 seconds. So say you're in the front line and you have no health anymore and you need to swing back to your supports. What you're not going to do is walk slowly to your supports like this. Don't do that. That's terrible. You're going to die. What you're going to do is swing back to the highest point that you could reach on the building and swing back to your supports like this. I think a lot of pennies forget that you can swing. You can swing aggressively and defensively. So you could swing back to your back line or swing to their back line and kill their back line. So remember, you're playing a spider. Like you gotta be really, we gotta be really spider-like. You know, you gotta have that agility for sure. But yeah, that's how I play Penny. If you have any questions, let me know and I can help.
Guess it takes a spider to beat one.
Spider-Man dying. But yes, Penny counters Magic, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and she can counter Wanda ult. She can counter Magneto ult, Iron Man ult, and Doctor Strange ult as well, if you time it right. But yeah, Mozo, do you want to throw some Magneto ults at me, maybe?
You know what to do, spiders?
And I can show you how you can counter these.
I know that sound.
So your web is a CC, right? Your web that's on a right click cooldown. You can capture any ult, mostly any ult, if you time it right. Yay! I caught it too late, but I caught it nonetheless. Here, let's put ability cooldown on.
Here comes trouble.
Again. Do you see how she blocked that? So you can block Magneto. Yay! And now you can block Iron Man. Let's do Iron Man next. If you don't get it the first couple times, you'll be great at it. She's a beast.
Maximum pulse.
Look at that. Isn't that cool? Again.
Maximum pulse.
Blocked it. There we go.
Done. Spider.
Good job.
the eye of Agamotto.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
For the win.
Good job, good job. That was easier for me. Good job, good job. Yay! Thank you so much, Molo. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it so much. What other ults can he cancel? Can she cancel? I'm pretty sure she can cancel Bucky. And I think that's Blade too. And that of the sort. Yeah, but also I want to remind people who are getting into tank that there is also always
Here comes trouble.
a first tank and a second tank. So when you're getting into tanking and you don't know what a first tank or a second tank is, I usually call the off tank the second tank. I call Penny a second tank. But there are moments when I solo tank and I am pressured to be the first tank. What is a first tank? A first tank is usually someone with a shield, usually a Magneto or Strange. It could be Groot, it could be Emma. They have really good damage blocked. They're really good at being aggressive and pushing the team. Basically, this is a tank you follow around everywhere, right? And then you have a second tank. I love being second tank because I like peeling for my supports, but I also like being a dive tank. So an off tank is usually someone like Thor, Penny, Venom, sometimes Thing. And they peel for their supports. So if you don't know what peel is like a banana. You peel back for your supports. So you have two supports. There's a Black Panther, Psylocke on them, Magic. You're going to be the tank that goes in the back and protects them. So an off tank / dive tank will not necessarily always be in the front with the first tank being aggressive to push for points. They will be helping, obviously. That's a really good, duo to have. But a good thing to do as an off tank is get picks. So you can like kidnap someone on the side and have area control. So that's why Penny's really good as a second tank, because she has area control with her mines, right? So as a second tank, it's your job to be like, no, this is my space. You can't be here. First tank, I want to get that space. I want that space, right? So second tank is always going to be like, this is our space. We've claimed it. First tank, I want that space over there. Let's go get it. Does that make sense? And then as a tank, and when I tell my supports or I'm in comms, I always say, let's play this corner. What does that mean? I'll show you. So when you play a corner, you're gonna have line of sight. So you see how my line of sight is those two enemies over there? And now that I'm here, I don't have line of sight of them. I like to poke as a tank. I like to get picks as a team. So say we were playing this corner and we need to get over there in order to get the cart. What we're going to do is play this corner, get our picks, and if the enemy dies, we're going to push little by little. And I like to tell my team, let's pick them off like boogers. So we are all going to focus the same person. So if Emma's low, let's focus Emma. If Mag is low, let's focus Mag. So your whole team needs to be getting the right picks. Your DPS obviously need to, but if your DPS are slacking, you would have to all put the teamwork in together. So as a tank, it's really good and important for you to learn every corner in the map in order to know how to poke. And it also, tank ults aren't that strong. They're not as strong as like, okay, Magneto's pretty strong now, but it's not as strong as like an Iron Man ult or a Wanda ult, right? You're only gonna be doing a set amount of damage. Like for example, Emma's ult is not that strong. She gets them down to like what? 20% health. If the team isn't picking up on that slack, then it's not gonna do much. So you have to be conscious of when you're gonna be ulting. And now that the game is more neutral this season, you have to be really good with your ults. You have to know when to ult. How do I ult as Penny? Always have your mind down first. If you don't have your mind down, wait until your mind is down to ult. And then you're gonna try to create space with Penny. So Penny is really good at pushing with her ult. It's also really good at being defensive. It's also really good to use this ult to keep point or keep that space that you've claimed. So if you have space that has been taken, it's good to use Penny ult to push. And this is how I use Penny ult. I am very fast in Penny ult. This is how I Penny ult. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to be spamming left and right click, but also moving around so my hitbox is always constantly changing. And if supports are low, I slam into them with left click. And so, do you see after Penny ult, I have all these mines on the space I created? That's really cool. If you're constantly jumping around in your ult, people won't be able to hit you. But also, you see all these mines left after her ult? That's really cool. So that means that she's cleaned all the space with her ult. So a pro tip I always say when you're in Penny ult, constantly jump, constantly press left and right click, push onto those supports, and by the time you're done with your ult, go back to your own backline or you're gonna die. If you are ending Penny ult in their backline, you are 100% gonna die. You're going to die. You need to end your ult with your supports. Does that make sense? So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're constantly jumping like a spider, so your hitbox is very, very hard to hit, and also your webs are connecting you, so you're constantly at like 1,000. Look, so do you see how like I'm in my own mines? I'm at 1,350 health. That's diabolical. That's diabolical, actually. So always make sure you're in your own mines when you start your ult, because 1,350 health to push point is actually disgusting. And that's why she gets banned a lot, for sure. Will you give tips on any other characters? Yeah, what characters do you want, Starlight Fox? I can show you any other character you want. I could do Emma as well. Penny ult is just one big distraction. It's stronger than you think, I would say. It's really good at claiming back space. And like I said before, she's 150 health. That's a lot. If you know how to use her and you're jumping constantly, you can kill the backline, run through this whole space through the mid and front line, and go back to your own backline. Does that make sense? If you have any other questions, let me know. But yeah, look at all those mines I've left behind. That could kill a support. Yeah, that's how I play Penny. You know, I would always say, use your F to swing back to your supports. That's a really big thing I see new supports not do with her. She's complicated, yes, but she is so rewarding. And please don't ever forget to stack your E. Stack your mines in hidden places. Every mine that you hide in here, in your webs, are hidden from the other team. So if you need to hold a corner that you can't see because you're pushing over here, but somebody's getting your support over here, spam those mines and forget about it later. And a Spider-Man will step into it and they'll die. So being a tank is all about creating space. That's your job. Unlike DPS, your job is to get picks. That's not your job. Yes, it is technically. If you're an off tank, you need to kidnap people, certain people. But if you're solo tanking, you need to create space. You need to claim space. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, please let me know. And I am like more than glad to help people understand Penny, because she's pretty intimidating. She's pretty intimidating for people. But she is so... She can be complicated. Look at all these buttons that she has. But she's very, very rewarding, I would say. So the skill ceiling for her is kind of up there. But it will be rewarding. I swear it. I swear it, I swear. But yeah, always remember to swing back. Swing back to your supports. That's why it's there. Don't walk back. Never walk back. But yeah. Do you guys want a tutorial on Emma? I could show you Emma. Emma's my favorite.
Whoever they are.
Anyone have any questions for Penny, or can we move on?
I don't care who hates and fears.
We can move on? Yeah? Okay. So Emma, when I feel like I'm melting as Penny and I can't solo tank as Penny, solo tanking as Penny, by the way, is very hard. I don't suggest it. I don't like it. I hate it. But I would rather do it than lose. I choose Emma. Emma, unfortunately, has been nerfed. But her shield and her ult has been buffed. So, if you can see here, do you see her psychic spear? Her psychic spear, which is her E ability if you're on mouse and key, is her... That is her most useful thing out of her kit. If you're having trouble aiming your E, which is a lot of people have trouble with, practice. Practice makes perfect. The cool thing about Emma is that the closer you are to the person, the better you're going to hit the crystal, right? And that goes for any other person. Snowball, Sleep, the Fox from White Fox. It's going to be different, right? This is going to be her bread and butter. Always hit your crystal, your E, your psychic spear. You're going to hit the crystal and the person. And you're going to do twice the damage. So E, crystal, person. Practice that. E, crystal, person. You're done. E, crystal, person. Right? Do you see I have 100 charge? Do you notice how my 100 charge isn't going down? Why is that? She's in diamond form. If you're in a pickle and you're like, oh my god, where's my supports? Just and you need your 100 charge because you're constantly pushing, go diamond form. You can keep your 100 charge. I've watched like really good Emmas and like their tournaments or whatever go crystal just to keep their 100 charge. Why is her 100 charge really important? The more charge you have, the more damage you do. So, say if your other team has a group, they didn't ban group, they banned Cloak and Dagger because they're weird. You have 100 charge. Do you see how fast she kills them? Keep your 100 charge. How do you do that? Hit group walls, hit Loki clones, and hit DPS. That is how you're going to get your 100 charge. Hit Groot a lot too as well. So if your other team has a Loki or a Groot, go Emma. Think, oh my god, I can have a constant 100 charge if I'm hitting these Loki clones and I'm hitting all these walls. Make sure as an Emma, I always see the best Emmas, they always have 100 charge constantly. Constantly doing damage. Constantly at 100 charge. That's really hard to do, but you gotta pick, you know, cleverly. You gotta make sure you're picking cleverly to keep that 100 charge, right? Let's go to the practice range and let me show you my brawl combo. So when she's in diamond form, she is brawl, right? Let's get someone who's a little skinny. Skinny, but not skinny. We'll do magic.
5, 4, 3.
What I like to do as Emma, always use your psychic spear, even when you're in brawl. Because if you hit your psychic spear and the person, you're going to do twice the damage. So always before you go into diamond form, hit your psychic spear and then hit the person, and the chances are that they're gonna die. I would say never use your kick unless you're on a wall or you're at the payload where you can kick them back. Why do I say that? Because you're gonna end up kicking them back to their backline. The last thing you want to do is kick your magic back to their Luna Snow where they get heals again. You don't want to be that type of tank. You don't want to be that type of invisible woman that pushes them back into the backline. So getting your pick as a brawl is really important. Make sure you get your pick at the wall. But when she's in brawl form, when she's in diamond form, she can She can go against Jeff ult, Wanda ult. What else can she go through? I forgot. Okay, let's try Elsa ult because I don't think I've tried it yet. Oh, wow. I guess I can go through Elsa ult. That's pretty cool. Oh, okay, so she also can't get grabbed during the diamond form. Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead. Try it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was only super informative. I'm trying to learn Emma a bit. Yes, of course. So I do want you to remember your bread and butter for Emma is your psychic spear. Yes, you're going to have a very, very hard time aiming it, but it's going to be the best part of her kit. A lot of people have a really hard time with their E and they give up, but don't give up. You have to die a million times in order to be a better tank. I died so much as a tank in order to be better. But yeah, so she can't get caught in diamond form. So you see how Rogue tried to steal my ability? I went diamond form and I couldn't get her. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Molo, for reminding me of that as well. What else? Her shield is really good. Make sure you recall it. Make sure you recall it at the right times. What I like to do when I ult is I always put my shield first and then I ult. I see a lot of Emmas not doing this. And I don't know why. I think they forget that they have a shield. Emma is a shield tank. She's a weird shield tank, but she is a shield tank. And I see so many Emmas forget that they have a shield. You need that shield. If you're not going to use it, put it on your backline. Put it on your backline. If you're not knowing how to use it, put it behind the tank in front of you so they don't get heals. Use it like a Groot wall. But most of all, use it to protect yourself. If you're not using your shield before you ult, you're gonna die. And you're not gonna kill anyone. And so I see lots of people doing that. So don't do that. Don't do that. Use your shield. Recall it back if you need to. Always use it. How do I use Emma ults? I use it very risky in comp. When I'm Emma in comp, I try to flank ult. Don't do this unless you're a really good Emma. So I would say use this when you're confident in your supports. What I like to do as a tank is I make a call out and I'm going to say, I'm going to flank ult. Make sure you get your picks. I flank the backline of the other team and I ult. So I shield and ult. And then I tell my whole team, get your picks, get your picks. If I'm turning the whole team back to me, I expect my team to get the picks and kill the whole team. So imagine that right here was the supports, DPS, tanks. I'm right here in the back line. They don't see me. I ult. They're turning around to me, right? I expect my whole team beyond that line to get the picks and kill the whole team. That is how I usually wipe out a team with an Emma ult. Emma ult only gets... It's been buffed, but it's been nerfed. So you can't really kill tanks, obviously. But you could kill supports and some DPS. So this is why when I'm Emma and I tell my team in comp, I'm like, get your picks. I'm ulting as Emma. I expect my team to poke at everyone I've ulted and kill them. Because Emma ult is not that strong. And it comes with lots of tanks, you know? Like, Thing is not too strong. Groot is not too strong. Venom is not that strong. Rogue is not that strong. And they do this to balance out the game, right? Angela, right? So the reason why when tanks ult, it doesn't kill the whole team is because you need that synergy and that balance, right? The balance of the game, but also you have to trust your DPS to finish those kills. Because you know when a Venom ults, the supports are only half health, right? You have to trust your DPS to finish those kills. You have to finish those kills too. So if you ulted as Emma or you ulted as Venom and the supports are 20% health, you should be able to finish that kill. Always with your but I think I showed you guys my brawl combo, right? I showed you my brawl combo already, right? You always do diamond form, hit the crystal, hit the person, and bounce them off the wall. Just like that. Just like that. And I think you guys know already that Emma can counter lots of ults with her choke. Her choke is very powerful. Very, very powerful. You can add the choke into the combo too if you're feeling a little spicy. You could do that, bounce them off the wall, whatever you want. Just make sure you have your crystal, your psychic spear. Anything you want to do. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, yeah, let's try to do choke Wanda ult. You can choke Wanda ult. You can counter Doctor Strange ult with diamond form as well. Lots of different stuff. But there is a range. See? You could do that. And then we can also counter Strange ult as well.
By the eye of Agamotto.
You can counter Strange as well. And then you can also counter Thing too. I didn't choke you, sorry. I forgot to. I couldn't, I was cancelled. But if you're behind him, you can choke him for sure. Hi T3. Wait, what heroes aren't strong? It depends. It depends. Yeah, good. That was really... So Emma's shield blocks Rogue. Wow. Oh, I see. That's very smart to know. That's really cool. Okay, Emma's shield blocks Rogue. Cool. Alright, Thor. The bunsest of buns. Tank. He's been nerfed, my guys. Do you see how his health is 600? Thor has been nerfed to the ground. Brawl is not as strong as it used to be, but now it's kind of back because of Rogue. Yeah. So Mr. Fantastic can get more health sometimes than our lovely Thor here, God of Thunder. So Thor, I mean, Fantastic can rack up more health than Thor these days, and it kind of irks me. But we live, laugh, love. Okay, so you're probably wondering, what does the E do? So the E slows down people. So when I'm in the front line and I'm Thor, I usually put the E on people. The E used to give me extra health, I think, but now it doesn't. I don't remember. And his right click is on a... What cooldown is it? Yeah, the right click is on a 5-second cooldown. So before, when they didn't nerf him, he used to have no cooldown on his right click. So you could be a brawl. So if you don't know what a brawl tank is, you see how like there's no reload on the bottom left. He's brawl. So his hammer is his brawl. He's using his fist. He's using his body, right, to block. A really good thing to do with Thor is be an off tank, be a dive tank. not necessarily dive all the time, but you're going to be kidnapping either the front line and displace tanks, or you're going to be diving the back line and displace healers, and you're going to finish that kill. And if you're a Thor and you're constantly on 0 health, what you're going to do is you're going to hold your left shift, and you're going to fly back to your healers. So you remember in the beginning when I told you that you have to, as Penny, swing back to your healers? You're going to do that with Thor. So if I'm in the front line and, oh no, I'm 2 health, I'm going to swing right back to my healers. Right here. If you're not utilizing that ability, it's done. It's done for you. So if you could see the F charge for Thor, which is, what's it called? Awakening. It costs 3 hammers. This is his strongest state, but this is also his most vulnerable state. Why? He's slow as hell. He's slow as hell. Okay? And he's only 600 health. He's only 600 health. So, a really good thing to do is when you're in ruin, when you're in awakening ruin, you need to cancel it really quickly or you're gonna die. He's so vulnerable in this state. So before, you used to not be able to cancel this and it would be atrocious. But yeah, he is a 600 health tank and he's not as strong as he used to be. But you can use him in the right situations. You can kidnap people. You can slow people. You can be the brawl that you need to be. If you're going against, you know, some annoying folks. For sure. But play Thor as an off tank. You used to be able to solo with him. You can solo with him in the right situations, but it's very hard. It's like soloing with Penny. It's not going to bode too well if you don't have DPS picking up the slack. And then if you're wondering what Thor ult does, it can stun people and it just rains down on them. So as Thor, what I like to do is I like to aim my thunder, and I like to aim my thunder down at them, and I like to press left control to go down on them. I think a really bad thing Thors do is just stand there when they're in their ult. Don't do that. Don't do that. When you're a Thor, you need to be moving. When you're an ult, you need to be moving. If you're not moving in your ult as a tank, your hitbox is not moving. You're gonna die. Don't do that. Don't do that. You need to be moving. So either move up, down, left, right. But you're gonna get those supports, so don't worry. Don't worry. Unless there's a cloak and dagger.